Okay, we're about to test this, and I kind of cheated a little bit. I stopped and I went and fixed the artwork, and then I added now we have 166 game in here. So and whenever you add more game to it, it's going to be one up at the end. So you want to cut it out, cut all the game out. If you want to put it back in alphabet order, cut them out, put it in your computer drive, like a backup folder, and then sort it by alphabet order, and then paste it back in. Now, if you have some game that you wanted to be at the front of the alphabet order, then copy those in first, and then you will see them in the beginning instead of at the very end of the gameplay. So if you have any particular game that you know that you will play a lot and you want it to be in the front, you will have to cut everything out and then paste the one you want first, and then paste the rest. So here's all the artwork, and just to show you what kind of game we have, it's only 166. It was a little bit hard to do this set because the ROM name is already being renamed to a unique ROM name, and so it's very hard to figure out what those abbreviations mean and what game is inside. And some of them, if you unzip it, it doesn't have the physical name, so you just have to play it and then to know what game is in actually, and then find the box art for it. So I didn't put any hack game in here. Most of them are all original because it's hard to find a box art for the hack game like Mario's. They have Mario 1, 2, and 3. So I did not bother to do that. And also, if you have your own hack game, you want the homebrew game, and you want to put it in here, or any kind of game you want to put in here, it won't work. Okay, you have to use the one that came from the link that I gave you. I think on my video 2. Video 3 is just mainly talk about how to create a box art, where to get the box art, and how to resize the box art. So those are the stuff that we talk about. And yep, that's pretty much it. So, and all the game work, I'm have to make sure I test it all, but all the artwork is there, so I will have to test it all, and then once that's done, then I will distribute this to you. I haven't tested all of them, I test most of them, so stay tuned for that. And I will be distribute the game once it's finished testing. I test almost half of it already, but I didn't test every single one of them. So I will have to test all of them before I will, because I don't want to wind up like let you think it's working and when it's not working. Oh, by the way, just for your guys' information, I put some video out there about the issue I get with Super Nintendo and Neo Geo. Please watch those, because if you're going to add more game, you're going to run into those problems, and you will wonder why. Those videos actually tell you why, and that's the reason it's like a hour-long video. It actually explain to you what I run into, the step that I did, and then I find out there's a problem. The reason I did a video, because a lot of time people, if I just tell you, you don't understand it. But if I show you what I did and it didn't work, and then I took it off, and or that would let you see it yourself, like, oh, so that's why it doesn't work. So for example, Super Nintendo, if you have 800 games but you only have one picture in the image folder, like one picture per ROM, then you're able to load all of them. But if you have two pictures, you only could go up to 350 for Super Nintendo. Genesis, I didn't even bother to do that. I just stick with under 350. So if you want all 350 Genesis game, be my guest. But those ROM is so hard to figure it out, and I did the video to show you on the video 2, show you how to rename those, and it takes time. Okay, so just FYI. And then with the arcade game, it seemed like if you go over 175 game, it's gonna have an issue. Some of the game will run okay, some of the game will not, because it use up more resource. So Neo Geo have two sets. One is normal set, the other one is more memory hog. It want more memory, and those are by itself. I think they are 65 or 69. Those are memory hog game. So if you put it with the 175, it's not gonna run. Even if you subtract some, it might run into problem, because I really don't know what is the limit for those games. What's the maximum you could go up before it start running into issue? So it's best to put all the game in a separate USB flash drive. That's what I recommend. So if you want to play all the different console, you could get a little small hub and then plug all the USB. I don't have my hub next to me to show you. I think I'm using it. But once I do my final video, I'll show you the hub. Then you can just plug all the USB and label it. You know, Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, Neo Geo, and then Capcom, and then eventually I'm gonna do an arcade. So you could have 5 USB, you know, 32 gig, 32 gig or 16 gig. It will work. It doesn't have to go, you know, super large, and they're very cheap, dirt cheap. Like you could buy a whole pack of it. You know, like 64 gig was only $9 after tax. So I'm so used to just press it and start, but sometimes some of the game you have to watch the demo before it works. Now Sega Genesis, sometimes A button will work and sometimes the A button do not work. So like this one, A button do not work. Just the top 3 button, okay? Now it's a little bit too loud now. So yeah, all the Street Race tested, Sonic's been tested already. They all work great. Those game has been tested. Space Harry has been tested. It run great. Shadow Blaster, I haven't tested that yet. So as long if you grab the game from the link I give you, most of them will work except the U. Now if you separate them, you have to grab the one without the U behind it. U represent United States. So grab the original, don't grab the U. Now if both of them are in the same, inside the same ROM folder, then it will work. But if you're only grabbing one, there's no need to grab 2 of them, like the original and then the USA version. So just grab, if you're just gonna grab one, because you don't want to grab duplicate game when you don't have that much, system doesn't have enough resource. And if you do that, it will create a problem with your gameplay. Now, some of you might say, Johnny, some of this game does not even, some of the game I actually don't like. And the reason I have it was because there was an artwork and I found the ROM connected with the artwork. So I said, okay, why not? But I don't really have that much game that, I mean, I like to play all of them, but I only have, you know, some game that I actually really like and some game I just don't care. I mean, I could care. Oh man, shoot him, man. He's so close to you. Are you serious? Can't even shoot a guy that close to you? Okay. Yeah, so it's not every game here that is my cup of tea, okay? But most of them are. Some of them I did pick it, I gave it to you, and then I'm like, why did I even put that in there? So I apologize for that, but I'm like, I already did the artwork, I already tested. Yeah, I might as well just leave it, you know. So you do have like maybe 10 of those that it's not that great. Most of them are pretty good. So like I say, I have a video. This video, the main purpose was to show you how to do this so that you guys could do it yourself. Okay. Now some of the start button in Sega Genesis is you have to press start button even when you're inside the game. You have to press start button and to pause it, you just press the start button to pause it. So it's not the A button to start the game. I also added the arcade classic where you could actually play the old arcade game in the classic mode, which is pretty cool. Now I do like this one. Well, actually, most of them are pretty good. But hey, you know, if you want all the game, your favorite game, you have to put. You just have to take time, put your favorite game in here, you know, because everybody have their own cup of tea. Everybody have their own favorite type of game. I personally like fighting game. I don't have too much of sporting game, if you notice it in here. So if you want some sporting game, I mean, I wanted to put some basketball and some soccer or hockey, but I did put 2 pinball games in here. I was able to find 2 pinball. It is so hard to find the game because they did something to this ROM that make it work with Final Burnout. So that's the reason you cannot just grab any ROM. I tried to grab some hack game in here, and it would be cool to be put in here, but I can't get it working. It works on a regular emulator, but it doesn't work on here. So I don't know what to tell you. This is not easy game to play. I'm definitely gonna save it if I pass this level. Because I don't want to go through all this again. Ah! Ah, it's pretty intense here. And you're gonna fight with the dragon. There you go. Ooh, I knew I was gonna die. I should have saved it before I died. Oh well. So yes, there are some Pac-Man game that is pretty cool. It's here. Outrun is here. Mystery Fighter, that one I bought from Japan. That was a very interesting game because I was looking for more fighting game, and I was able to find one, and I imported from Japan to America. So I actually have this physical game, but I gave most of my game to my nephew. He doesn't collect as much as I do, but I did give it to him because it was a childhood memory for him when we played together, you know. And I did give it to him, so I let him have it. I gave him all the Sega Genesis collection because he liked to play it a lot, so I gave it to him. But then I didn't know that Sega Genesis console doesn't work no more after a certain amount of years. The system doesn't work. It's like TurboGrafx, same thing. It stopped working. So you have to buy a new console so you can play it. I also gave him my Michael Jackson's original. Yep, all this game is pretty cool. So once I finish testing it, I will definitely give you guys a head up on this. I just need to go and just play it and make sure everything is working great. Alright, thank you for you watching, and hopefully all the video I put out, it will give you some more understanding. And then later we're gonna do a teardown and fix my stupid controller on this. I don't like the button. The button had the spring sound. This is the one that I was telling you. This is the new one. That's the reason it doesn't have the spring sound. But the other one, the one over there, that was the one the button is having problem. So that's the reason when I was testing it last time, the button was testing okay because I haven't used it. It's a brand new one. So this is the Battletoads. I like Battletoads. I like Battletoads and Ninja Turtle because when you play it, when you kick them out of the screen. Now I like the Battletoads and Double Dragon. I think that one is. No, I like the arcade version. Let me take that back. The arcade version is pretty cool. Simpson Nightmare. I haven't tested this one yet either. Alright. All the beasts, I went and added it back in. And Aladdin 2 as well. Alice the Kid. You need to have Alice the Kid, even though it's not the best game, but it brings back the memory. And then this one is the Arcade Classic. And this is Arcade Classic. Those two are good to have. One have Centipede and one have Jaws and Defender. So yeah, they are a good game to have. So alright, talk to you later.